What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. Hope you guys are doing well. Now, I'm sure all of you are familiar on the H2M saga that has occurred over the last week within the Call of Duty community, so I don't really want to dive into it once again. But it does display Activision's incompetence, so I do have to laugh a little at that. But what I want to talk about today is Activision's apprehension towards creating remastered projects. They did it once with Modern Warfare Remastered back in 2016. And a lot of people feel it was directly correlated to the poor reception of yet another advanced movement Call of Duty, as the player base wanted boots on the ground gameplay. So they decided to rush out Modern Warfare Remastered, and guess what? For some, it was well received, like myself. I truly loved MWR. I had so much fun playing that, and completely neglected Infinite Warfare. I almost call it Infinity Ward because that was a mouthful at the time. Infinity Ward created Infinite Warfare. IW making IW. Anyways, back to MWR. It was a return to classic Call of Duty for so many. And it felt like that was the exact blueprint on how to create the next great boots on the ground Call of Duty. And yet, no other game has tried to do that. Now, granted, Raven Software, Raven Studios were the ones that handled Modern Warfare Remastered, and it felt like a regular Call of Duty game. And it feels as if Raven has been put to task on Warzone more so than anything else. And maybe that's why there's been some disconnect between the gameplay we had in Modern Warfare Remastered and where Call of Duty is today. I don't really know. I don't know the ins and outs of everything going on with Call of Duty and Activision. But what I want to bring up today is that we have not seen anything like a remastered title like MWR for now 8 years. And it would be fantastic if we did get something that celebrated Call of Duty's legacy. And that was the beauty of H2M, was that it was trying to just celebrate the legacy of Call of Duty. And there's a reason why people embraced Modern Warfare Remastered at the time, why people were willing to pay the inflated price of Infinite Warfare just to get their hands on Modern Warfare Remastered. It's because there's nostalgia attached to it, and they're great games to their core. Now, there's the obvious rumors surrounding Call of Duty 2025 being a Black Ops 2 remaster, which would be fantastic, don't get me wrong. But I just don't think that's the avenue Call of Duty and Activision want to go down. And here's why. Number one, I think they don't really want to lean on their legacy anymore. I don't think they want to be one of those companies that tries to throw member berries at you at every single corner. Now, yes, they've utilized the Modern Warfare name again and again, repeating titles. But I think that's as close to acknowledging their legacy as they're willing to go. Because I think that they know they would receive immense backlash for modernizing a game like Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops 2 and utilizing the same in-game purchase tactics as they do now, with the operator skins and the new weapon variants and the new tracer rounds and all those things. That would fall on deaf ears for so many in the community because it would be deteriorating the core concept of the game. It would be completely flipping the game on its head. I mean, I remember the backlash that there was for Raven and Activision when they brought in new weapons into MWR. Now, granted, I did like those weapons, but I understood the backlash. This was supposed to be Modern Warfare Remastered, not Modern Warfare Remastered plus supply drops plus some other content. Just give us the game that we had from 2007 modernized. And that's where I think we do get a little bit of insight into Activision's thinking. They don't want to lean on their legacy, but at the same time, they know that they can't get by trying to deliver a Black Ops 2 remastered without shoehorning in their new monetization tactics. And that will lead to lower sales. So they have to continue to go down the path that they go down, which is creating new titles that are faceless, soulless, and lack innovation or creativity, and churn out as many in-game purchases as possible so they can maintain a high revenue, versus going back to their rich history and remastering some of it and bringing it into the modern era. Now, the number one issue that some people have with that, and I've heard this from the community, is the older Call of Duty games are far too slow, and that change of pace would be jarring for the community. which I completely understand. And Call of Duty has no interest in trying to divide their community up again with a mainline game like an Infinite Warfare and a remastered game like Modern Warfare Remastered. That was detrimental to Call of Duty at the time because their player base was separated between two games. They do not want to do that. And I think that there is an issue with them going down the road of a remaster because it might not appeal to a lot of the new players because it's not as fast paced and you can't have all the movement and all of the why-ing that people like to do and just the crack stuff that the new Zoomer generation likes to do. And again, this isn't an insult to you. That's what you like. That's what Call of Duty's become. But it's hard not to imagine the overall love for a Call of Duty remaster of Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1, and Black Ops 3 all kindled together into a Black Ops collection, similar to what Halo did with the Master Chief collection. Now, granted, that thing was, in and of its own right, a disaster at launch and took a very long time to get to a stable state. But man, once it got there, it was fantastic. And then they created Halo 5 after it. But it's just not something that I see Call of Duty doing. They're fine alienating their old audience. The people that have been around since COD 4, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, they don't really care about us anymore because we have higher expectations, we hold them to a higher standard, and they'd rather continue to market their games to the new generation of players that just either want something casual, which is fine, and I'm all for casual players having that opportunity, or to the people that are fine spending their paychecks on bundles in Call of Duty. That's the target audience now, and it's very clear as day with all of the new cosmetics that are available in Call of Duty. None of them go back to the roots of the game, and if you look at it, even the gameplay itself doesn't really feel that rooted in what made Call of Duty successful originally. It just doesn't feel the same. It doesn't pack the same punch, and some of that is me just growing up, probably, and some of the other player base doing the same. But we also know that the overall quality of the gameplay is nowhere near what it used to be. And that's why so many people loved X-Defiant when it first came out, because it felt like a return to form for arcade-style shooters. Because that's not what Call of Duty really is anymore. It's hard to pinpoint exactly what it is, but it's not that arcadey like it used to be. It isn't a tactical shooter either. It's just this smorgasbord of nothing. And it kind of sucks as a result. But to get back on track with the whole remastered conversation that I'm trying to bring up here, I just don't see a path forward for Activision to make it make proper business sense for themselves. What they should have done is supported a fan-made project like the H2M project, allowed that to thrive and survive as they continue to make money off of people buying Modern Warfare Remastered for Steam and just letting it exist. Granted, yes, it might affect some Black Ops 6 sales. It might affect some of their bundle purchases. But oh well, you at least can appease a section of your player base who are enjoying your game, enjoying your franchise in some way, shape, and form, versus trying to force them to play your current iteration of a game that doesn't remind them of why they got into the franchise in the first place. It's a jarring change, especially if you did play some of H2M or you went back and played Modern Warfare Remastered before H2M was live. Going back and playing MW3, or probably what Black Ops 6 is going to be a jarring experience. It is a much different game. It's a much different way to play. And I don't think that it's necessarily innovation. I think, if anything, they're just trying to mask a lot of the issues the game has for you going and being able to have this extra movement opportunities. Because the core of the gameplay experience isn't the same. The guns don't pack the same punch. The kill streaks don't pack the same excitement level. You don't feel like a super soldier like you once did. But all of this culminates and concludes in me believing that we do not see a remastered venture again for Call of Duty. I hope I'm wrong. I hope at some point in time they get their act together and realize going back to the roots, embracing some of the history and legacy that Call of Duty once had would be really important to remind the current player base, say, hey, this is how good games used to be when we cared about them, when we wanted to consistently innovate and evolve. So maybe we should have higher expectations moving forward. And then you can also thank your lucky stars that your old community comes back and enjoys it once again. But anyways, it's wishful thinking. I think I've outlined an argument as to why it's never going to happen, but let me know down below why you think there is hope to see a Modern Warfare 2 remastered, a Black Ops 2 remastered in the future at some point in time. Would love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments section. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.